Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Investigate Supreme League of Patriots. So, this is a point-and-click adventure game. I'm recording this right after recording Morningstar. Right off the bat, feels like a kind of different vibe than Morningstar, if you know what I mean. I don't know, something about it feels just a little bit different. I'm also trying a slightly different recording setup. So I have not played this game whatsoever. I was sort of interested in trying out a bit of blind playthrough of this one as opposed to the other one because Morningstar was a bit more of a simplistic from a gameplay perspective. So let's take a look at the tutorial real quick. You know, maybe get a little sense for the writing.
You've caught me rather by surprise. I wasn't expecting you until later, so the game isn't actually ready to begin yet. Tell you what though, why don't you help me finish up a couple of things? It'll help you get acquainted with the interface, and it'll help me finish up in here so we can get started on the game proper. Okay, well first things first, move the mouse around the screen, and as you move over points of interest, you'll see them light up with a purple outline. Also, that text box above my head pops open and tells you what the object is.
Above your head?
You'll need to do quite a lot of that when you play the game, as there are all sorts of interesting things littered about the scenery. Right, I was actually just packaging up a little present before you arrived, but I ran into a little snag and put it back in my in tray until I could figure out a solution. If you wouldn't mind, move the mouse over my in tray and left click.
Interesting. Okay, so that's fairly similar. I kind of dig this kind of funky soundtracks, little like wow, wow, na, na, na. Yeah, I like it. Switch it off your pace.
If you wouldn't mind, move the mouse over my...
Oh, aren't you impatient? Voice acting's rather interesting, I suppose. Oh, gym equipment. Oh, okay. So, what's this thing?
This beast has 8 32-core CPUs, a terabyte of RAM, and a liquid nitrogen cooled quad-fire graphics setup.
Nice.
It can search every national criminal database in a few milliseconds, and it monitors every major satellite channel in real time. I still can't get rid of that persistent stutter in Watch Dogs, though.
Touché. So, this thing?
Well done. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound like a sarcastic jackass just then, but I am, so that's how it comes out.
Huh.
By the way, you can also click anywhere on the ground to make me walk there. That's useful if you need to get a better look around the scene and my arse is blocking the view. Of course, Kyle's arse is more likely to do that than mine, but still. Closer inspection of the in tray reveals that there's a padded envelope in there. It will now appear as another hotspot on the screen that you can move the mouse over and interact with. Now when you clicked on that in tray, I automatically knew that you wanted to examine it because the in tray has no other actions. That won't always be the case though. Hotspots can have interactions for examine, use, take and speak, and any
Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. So yeah, this is pretty much just explaining if you've never tried a point-and-click adventure game ever. So yeah, let's get into the game proper, shall we?
Be honest. How do I look?
I'm not going to lie to you. There is a remote possibility that the more eagle-eyed observer will have discerned a minor discrepancy in the hue of your attire.
Do you think it'll affect my chances of winning the contest?
Some people might argue that your bold reinterpretation of a national treasure is a delightfully provocative and consciously incongruous attempt to redefine and modernise tradition. But personally, I'd say you look like some twat who accidentally put his costume through the hot wash.
Interesting. Very interesting.
It says here that Dennis Leary has a new stand-up show coming to town. Are you gonna go see it?
No, I saw him in 1987.
Didn't you like him?
He was okay, but I think I'll wait until he's got some new material.
Could be in for a long wait, dude.
I know. Bill Hicks is dead.
Huh. That was a weirdly specific reference. Can I take this?
I don't really have a great interest in current affairs.
I could have
I
assumed
dread
that.
to think what will happen when he finds out that Mr. Hooper died.
So let's see. Can I... Alright, cool. I have this on max graphical settings, by the way. In case you're curious.
We generally keep the blinds closed day and night. During the day, it stops the sunlight reflecting off the TV.
And during the night, it stops the locals from suspecting you might have witnessed something.
Fair enough. Can I open it?
Let's let some sunshine in, shall we?
Oh yeah, much better.
That is better.
Mel and I are both firmly behind the Occupy protests.
The vast majority of Americans are honest, hard-working men and women who are disproportionately taxed and are forced to stand by while the rich elite siphon off all the profits and expect the rest to pay the price when they screw up the entire system.
We're behind them 100%. Of course, we don't actually work. Or pay taxes.
Well, no sense being fanatical about it.
Huh. Interesting. Relevant references about, I suppose. Yeah, it's actually nuts how opposite to Morningstar this actually is. Can you take this?
Mel does all the technical stuff. Wouldn't be of much use to me.
I am often tempted to leave my laptop at home and lug a full tower and 27-inch flat screen around with me all day, but it's one of those little conveniences I never quite get around to.
Okay, so I guess we'll go.
Let's head off to the audition, shall we?
Have you got a map of the route to the theatre?
It's right here in my hand, isn't it?
No?
Oh. Then I've lost it.
Well, you'll have to find it or get a new one, won't you?
Alright, so... Whoa, what?
We're looking for an umbrella, a crown, a pair of gloves, a horseshoe, 5 birds, an artificial leg, the kickstand from a 1967 Harley Sportster.
Hold up.
What's wrong, Mel?
What on earth?
We were just getting into the story when you stopped dead and started playing I Spy. What's going on?
Isn't that how it works? Set the scene, little bit of dialogue, then stop dead and play an arbitrary hunt the object game?
That makes no sense at all. There's no motivation, no reason behind the game at all.
Sure there is. People would notice how painfully
Jesus.
thin the plot was if we didn't distract them with random minigames. Quick, let's take 2 photos of the bathroom and try to spot the differences.
No, no, no. No hidden objects, no difference spotting, no sliding tiles, and absolutely no reassembling torn pieces of paper.
I wish you'd said something sooner. So what'll we do instead? I mean, the game will be finished in 20 minutes if we take out all the random pointless puzzles.
We'll just have to include more plot, more contextual puzzles, more jokes, and more character interaction.
Well, we've wasted nearly 2 minutes complaining about hidden object games.
And the system works.
Interesting. I have literally no idea what on earth triggered that. Can I go in here? Okay. Screw the whales.
There's a drawer in the bedside cabinet. I'm already wearing clean underwear.
Your mom would be proud of you.
Yep, I have nothing to fear from being hit by buses now.
What?
Getting changed would defeat the purpose of hiring a superhero costume to enter the...
That's assuming that...
Interesting. Very interesting. A lot of very specific references, even taking a jab at basically a game like Morningstar, more or less. Oh, it's like an inventory thing. Another page of it or something? I don't know. So...
We haven't got an address, remember?
Yeah, I thought we could just wander the neighborhood a bit. See where we end up.
Mr. Fagazian used to wander the neighbourhood when he was on his medication. Remember where he ended up?
Remember? I was one of his pallbearers. It's such a shame that his epilepsy medic alert bracelet was in gang colors.
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting, okay. So... Salmon?
It says here that Carrie Underwood has signed a new contract with Sony. It's surprising that more talent show contestants haven't had her level of success.
That's not entirely true. I hear Taylor Hicks just signed a new contract with Time Warner.
Really?
Yeah, he can pick any 5 CDs for just 25 cents, and he only has to buy 4 full-price CDs during his first full year of membership.
What a... Man, I'm having conflicted feelings all over about this game, Mel. So...
I could see if I have any replies from that dating website I signed up to, I suppose.
Ain't technology amazing?
Sure is. If I went speed dating, it would take me.
I almost sort of
entire
wish that
evening to get
the
number of
transitions
rejections
between
I get on
characters
here
wasn't
in
there,
half an hour.
and instead they just had like little
Plus, if you
conversation
went speed dating,
bubbles
you'd
or
have to
something.
get
Just
dressed.
because like the loading between characters makes some of the jokes drag the slightest bit. So,
It's a hat I received as a birthday present one year. I never wear it because it makes me look ridiculous.
Yeah, we can't have that. There's a slightly stained napkin sitting on the arm of the sofa.
It's the napkin I used to wipe my hands when I was eating pizza last night.
Oh, thank God. I thought you'd stayed up late watching Desperate Housewives again.
salmon?
We had a pizza delivered last night. This is the box it came in.
We haven't thrown it out because we're convinced that the box is stuffed with cheese but haven't found it yet.
It's the phone.
It says 555-0200. That's right, some poor sap is getting a call from an obsessive-compulsive gamer tonight.
Interesting. Still haven't found anything. Apparently they don't want me to leave until I find whatever it is I'm looking for, so I guess I need an address? Oh, that was a little weird. So, yeah, I guess this is sort of in my pursuit of still trying to answer a question of myself of what is an adventure game in 2015?
It's the closet that came with the apartment. I think the previous tenant left it because of the inconvenience of trying to get it out of here.
It is pretty huge. Not everyone has a closet they can climb inside.
I know. Once I was in bed with a girl, and she thought she heard her boyfriend coming, so I jumped out of bed and hid in it.
Mate, this is your apartment.
Yeah, we both felt pretty stupid when we realized that she couldn't possibly have heard her boyfriend. You hadn't taken your key with you, so you'd have had to ring the bell to get in.
Jenny?
Jesus. Okay, so But yeah, again, you know, we all know what Tall Tale does.
I organize my clothes very carefully.
So, you know, what exactly
know that.
is
By
the
colour or by
rebuttal
style?
to that without
body
falling
part.
into the trappings of
Crikey.
old world
All this
adventure
time when you
games
were
that are
talking about
more
the
trying to
bottom drawer,
pump you
I
to
thought you
buy
meant-
strategy guides than
Nope.
anything else necessarily. So maybe
I
that.
loved this guy. His passing was such a loss.
I didn't know you were one of those NRA gun nuts.
I'm not. I just loved his acting. He was amazing as Moses. I love that bit when he comes down from Mount Sinai with the tablets and says, "For my cold, dead hands."
The only film of his I ever really got into was the one where he plays the last human left on Earth, which is exactly how I feel when I pass through Newark.
Examine?
What's wrong with Wales, mate?
Nothing, I guess. I'm just more of a dolphin person. But whales get all the movies.
What's so great
Fair.
about dolphins?
Haven't you ever swum with dolphins? It's amazing. You get in the water with a dolphin. You stroke
swam
it,
with dolphins
you
once.
kiss it, you climb on
It was
its
not a very
back,
pleasant
and
experience,
it pretends
actually.
to enjoy it.
More so just because dolphins
Sounds
are
like my parents'
huge
marriage.
motherfuckers, and they're so alarmingly big that you kind of don't want them that close to your face when they do the kissing you trick.
I never had you pegged as the patriotic type, mate.
I'm not. You'd be amazed how much more Republican skirt you get with this, though.
Interesting. So I have exhausted everything in this room. So could it possibly be talking to him? Like,
Mill, I don't think I can go through with this. Now that my costume is ruined, I've lost all my self-confidence. I don't believe I can win anymore.
That's dopey.
Really? You don't think the die running and turning my patriotic costume purple has ruined my chances of winning?
Of course not. You never had any.
That's it. I'm going back to bed.
Oh, don't be soft. We travelled all the way across town on the bus to get that costume. You can't give up without at least getting to the theatre and showing them your act. I didn't sit next to that homeless woman that smelled of vodka for you to just...
Okay.
Did I ever mention that I have total faith in your ability to mop the kitchen floor occasionally?
did you... How do you get spoiled? What are we going to do? Here, fancy snack.
Mel, what are we doing here?
What do you mean, what are we doing here? We live here. Have you been sniffing the mushroom?
No, I know that. I just mean, why aren't we at the theater?
If we go halfway across Manhattan without an address and a map, we'll get lost.
I won't get lost in the theater district. An experienced actor like me knows every crack in those sidewalks.
Which sidewalks?
Those dirty ones on Broadway. Well, maybe off Broadway.
That's the first time...
Talk to you.
Cheery bye.
Again, I'd like to clarify, I have not actually
It's
played
my
this
best
game
friend
yet.
Melvin. He's British, but he's pretty cool. He's definitely not the typical Brit.
Well, you're not the typical Yank either.
How come?
You haven't shot me yet.
Bum 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 bum, gun violence. So goofs, all the goofs. So again, what does it? Nope. 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 Nope.
Well,
Nope.
no.
I already examined the phone. I feel like I've clicked on everything, to be honest. I don't really... Just take that?
Hey, there's something written on this pizza napkin.
It's probably another suicide note from the pizza delivery boy. That kid really needs to get laid.
No, it's the address of
Suicide
the theater where
prevention is an
auditions are being
important
held. I must have written it down while we were eating dinner.
Of trying to
So
help
where exactly
be
is it?
a good person.
I have no idea.
Great, the A train runs right past I have no idea. Now that you've got the address, maybe you could get a map which shows us how to get there.
Well,
This nap.
It,
alright then, so that's the thing, I suppose. Okay, so this will help me. This shows which one I have selected, and these are slots for carrying additional items. Okay. Take?
There's not a single slice left, I'm afraid.
you pig! I only had 3 slices.
What can I say?
Person,
I'm having pizza tonight, actually. Use?
There's not. What can I?
Ah. Okay, so I figured out a singular puzzle.
It's a.
yeah,
Do, 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 do.
This napkin contains the address of the theater where the America's Got Superpowers auditions are being held.
it also contains most of the pizza sauce that didn't end up on your costume, on the floor, or on the couch.
Interesting. So you... Whoa, what?
I can use the address on this napkin to create a map which shows us how to get to the auditions.
Oh, cool.
Do you need a hand? I know you're not the most technical person.
No, I think I'm okay. Hey, does Google know where I'm going? Or do I have to enter a destination?
How could Google possibly know where you're going unless you tell it?
Well, they have those maps that know where you are.
What?
Those big maps at the mall that say you are here. And
Well, I mean, that's
always am.
actually not entirely inaccurate.
Yeah, I'm definitely
going
going to do that map. Otherwise, we'll
There
end
is
up in Mount
GPS
Pleasant
navigation
instead of
on
Broadway.
phones that combine with Google Maps to show you exactly where you are anyway. Not always the most accurate thing in the world, but it's dependable when needed most of the time. Map. Take.
Shall I take this?
Yes, and try not to blow your nose in it or smother it in pizza sauce before we leave the apartment.
Huh? Here's the map showing us how to get to the auditions.
What's this mark here?
I think it's the symbol for a hot dog vendor.
No, it's ketchup. You haven't left my site and you haven't eaten anything. I just don't know how you do it.
Have you seen my invitation?
You had to be invited.
Oh, yeah. These are prestigious, exclusive auditions. Only the very best are invited.
Wow, I guess your acting skills have impressed people more than I realised.
Not really. I only got one because the stage manager ran me over in the parking lot last week, and I took an invitation in exchange for a legal waiver.
How are the back spasms?
Easing off.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, so apparently I need an invitation of some sort. Okay, so working off this game's logic thus far, I did see that drawer.
I'm already wearing clean underwear.
Your mom would be
Yep. It's where I keep my briefs.
If there's...
Like, another example of the modern adventure game, I guess, is sort of 999 slash virtue slash reward, you know, sort of taking a bit of that old school mentality with something. Oh, Jesus, I didn't even know you were in here. But I feel like those games sort of had an extra tinge to them to really sort of help.
It's a map that Mel printed out. It gives step-by-step.
I love how...
Alright. Had a very specific hook for... Oh, God. Oh, God. Apparently my antivirus thought this was the perfect time in the world to turn on, which is so convenient and nice. Can I just go?
We haven't got an invitation, remember?
Yeah, I thought we could just wander the neighborhood.
Miss...
Remember?
Okay, so it's a thing clarifying.
I don't really...
I dread...
I could see...
Ain't...
Sure is.
Plus, if you...
Alright. Examine?
The apartment door has a peephole and a security chain. We live in a rough part of town, so having these really helps me sleep at night.
And it helps me pretend to be out when the landlord comes to collect the rent.
Sounds fair.
I'm not sure how it comes off its hinges.
The thing about taking a door with you is that it ceases to be a door when it's in your pocket.
See, I would disagree. I think it's still a door. Maybe it's just not a door that's necessarily being used for anything. I don't know. I feel like I've... Whoa. Let's chill out for a minute here. Have I exhausted everything? I can't have possibly done so. There's pizza. Examine?
We had a pizza delivered last.
We haven't...
Use?
There's not.
You...
It's it's the same joke. Interesting. So, no hint system with this one. They have different... apparently... Okay, never mind. Oh, there's a help mode. Reminder? Advisor? Yeah, I guess, let's... see if that does anything.
I organ.
I...
By.
Okay, there we... Use? Oh, I think it's doing something.
There's a golden ticket in here. It must be the invitation to the AGS auditions.
Must be.
Either that or we're spending the afternoon at a chocolate factory.
Ah, now the auditions are gonna seem like second best. Mel, I found the invitation.
Well done, mate. Do we have everything now?
Phone time.
Hello? Lieutenant, how nice to... No, we're going to the America's Got Superpowers auditions, remember? We booked a day off and everything. But... I guess if it's only an hour.
Huh.
Tell me you didn't just give up our day off.
It's only for an hour. You know I can't say no to Sam.
That's strange. She says it to you all the time. What does she want?
She said something personal had come up. She needs to take the rest of the day off. But that means she won't be able to transcribe those interviews.
Oh, so I was right. You didn't give up our day off. You gave up my day off.
I have to be there too. I'm the only one who has the keys.
Yes, of course. The keys. The ubiquitous symbol of authority. Because only the most responsible and trustworthy of men is allowed to use the photocopier.
Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, I'll give it this. If nothing else, the game has a very specific tone and atmosphere and sense of humor that it wants to give. Definitely no differentiation here as far as what it wants or anything. Don't entirely know about all that, how the thing seems to be set up but I always argue that the first puzzle in a puzzle game is always the hardest because you have to figure out what kind of attitude and what kind of logic the designers were keeping in mind when it came to building their game. You know what? I think that might actually be an okay place to call it. This was just something I was interested in sort of taking a little bit of a look at. And if anything, I think we've gotten more than enough of an earful as to whether or not this sense of humor is your cup of tea. Personally, I think there's like points where maybe it could be a little better. There's points where I think it's actually really clever. I might mess with it a little bit more. There's at least 3 episodes out so far, including this one. And I believe they're $5 a piece.
Has a medical professional ever discussed with you the possibility of undiagnosed epilepsy?
Is that because I was sitting on the screen for so long? I don't know what caused that. But who knows? Maybe maybe you're just screaming in vain that you just need to play this right now. I'll leave all the buying information on the screen right now. So
Has a medical professional...
Yep, that's yep. The soundtrack's pretty good too. I like the soundtrack. Well, it's been nice having you guys around. I'll see you guys next time.